What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday morning. It's nearly the weekend. The sun is shining in England. The rain is gone at last. It's been a month of non-stop rain, but today the sun is beaming down. It's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you're all having a good day wherever you are in the world. We've got an absolutely massive show for you guys today. But before we jump into it, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're very, very close to 10k subscribers now. We're about 50 away. So please do subscribe if you're new. And let's jump straight on into it. So on the show today, we are going to be talking a bit about Todibo because we have had an update on how much Todibo to Manchester United would cost. We're going to be talking about 9 players leaving. Yes, 9. We'll be breaking down all of the different information on each one of those deals. But yeah, 9 players look set to leave Manchester United this summer. And we also have got a bit of an update on Romeo Lavia, which is maybe a bit of a hopeful one, if I'm honest. But let's wait and see and jump into that. But before we do, we've got a new member of the Daily Red Devils members club. Welcome to Paul. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for joining the members club. If you do want to join the members club, I'll drop a link in the chat to do that. But yeah, thank you very much, Paul. Welcome to the members club, and let's jump straight on into the video. Right, where should we start off with then? Let's start off with Todibo, shall we? Because I know that is the one that everyone is really, really excited about. Now, we did a bit of a video last night talking about Benjamin Pavard, and there was a lot of people in the comments saying, I don't want him, he's too slow, we're not a retirement home anymore. There was quite a lot of people quite upset about this story surrounding Benjamin Pavard. So before we do start talking about Todibo, I want you guys to get in the comment section, get in the live chat, and let me know who is your preferred option. Do you want Benjamin Pavard or do you want Todibo? I will give my answer in a minute, but let me know in the comment section who you guys want. But just to give you a bit of clarity, there's been a story coming out this morning from a journalist in France saying that apparently Manchester United feel they can get a deal done for JEAN-CLAIR Todibo for less than £30 million. So, I mean, if we can get him for less than £30 million, that would be incredible. This is coming out, as I said, from a journalist in France. £30 million would be, honestly, that would be a ridiculously good bit of business. He's 23 years of age, of course. His release clause, I think, is £40 million. But for some reason, Manchester United think they can get him for less. I'm not entirely sure why, because usually people have to pay the release clauses, don't they? Nice signed him last year, I believe. Sorry, they signed him in 2021 for €8.5 million. So, I mean, 30 million sounds a bit about right, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, if we can get him for £30 million, I think that would be a great bit of business. And I would even go as far as saying, I think we should go out and get JEAN-CLAIR Todibo and Benjamin Pavard. I think we need both of them. I don't think it's a case of one or the other for me. If you can get him for 30 million and then say Benjamin Pavard for 20 million, that's 50 million combined, right? We're getting 30 million plus add-ons for Harry Maguire. It's a no-brainer. It is. So I would personally go and do that. It was a bit of a trick question. I tricked you all. I am sorry. Because my answer is we should get both of them. I think we need both of them. JEAN-CLAIR Todibo is a direct replacement for Maguire and probably will push Varane out of the team in the next couple of years. Benjamin Pavard slots in at right back and allows Dalot to be the backup left back because Malacia is injured. I think it works for everybody. But let me know what you think about that one. Let me know who your preference is. Let me know if you think we need both of them. I think my reason for saying we need both of them is obviously Benjamin Pavard is very, very experienced. He's won Champions Leagues. He's won 4 Bundesligas, countless other trophies. JEAN-CLAIR Todibo is still at the very, very beginning of his career. I definitely think he's a very good player. I definitely think he has a lot of potential. But I think at this point in time, we do need a new right back. Not because I don't think Wan-Bissaka and Dalot aren't good enough, but I just think it would be good to have another option there because I know a lot of you in this community are quite concerned about the right back position. We've had so many people in the chat over the last couple of days saying we really, really need to go and get Frimpong. We need to go and get somebody else. So I do think that bringing in someone like Pavard as an extra option would be a really, really good bit of business. But I think we need both. So I do apologise for tricking you on the show this morning. I did say you have to give me one answer, but I guess you can let me know whether you agree. Do you think we need both of them, or do you think we just need one or the other? Let me know in the comment section, because I always love to see you guys' opinions. So moving on from JEAN-CLAIR Todibo, let's give you a quick update on Benjamin Pavard really, really quickly. So Pletigol has come out this morning saying that apparently talks are now ongoing with Benjamin Pavard and they are positive. The price valuation is around £26 million. So 26 million for Pavard. That's how much Bayern are reportedly asking for. So we might get him for a bit less. It might be 20 plus add-ons. and then 30 for Jean-Clair Todibo. That's the asking prices for both of those players. So I would expect Manchester United to negotiate a little bit lower than that. As I said, if you could get both of them for 50 million combined, 20 for Pavard, I think that would be fair, and then say 25, 30 for Todibo, 45, 50 million total, including add-ons. I think that would be a really, really good bit of business. And I think we need both of them. I do. If you actually look at our defensive line, right? Eric Bailly's going. We will talk about him in a minute. Obviously, Tuanzebe's gone. Phil Jones has gone. That's 3 centre-backs that have left, okay? And Maguire. So 4 centre-backs are going to leave the club this summer. I know some of them aren't part of the first team squad, but they are still technically Manchester United players. So we've got rid of 4 centre-backs, including Maguire and Bailly. We've got rid of Alex Telles. It looks like Brandon Williams will be going, which we'll be talking about in a minute. So we're going to have lost about 6 defenders this summer. I know some of them, like Phil Jones, ultimately were just sitting on the bench doing nothing, but 6 defenders leaving, and then you bring in Benjamin Pavard and Todibo. I think that's fine, you know? So I see this more as we need 2 of them. I don't think we should settle for just 1. But let me know what you both think. Let me know if you think we need to invest the money somewhere else in the squad. I definitely think we need a striker as well. But when we get into all of the outgoings in a minute, you'll see where I'm getting all of this money from. Because as I said, 9 players look set to leave Manchester United, and we will give you a full breakdown on those 9 players a little bit later on in the show. Right, let's talk about Amrabat quickly, because I've had so many people messaging me since the show last night, and people are really, really worried about this Amrabat deal. I'm here to bring positivity, you know that. I'm not living in fantasy world. I'm not on cloud 9. I bring positivity, but I also can be real about it as well. Now, people keep messaging me, pointing me towards the BBC Sport website in the UK, who have put up this story that Manchester United... that Amrabat's preference is to join Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. So this is on the BBC Sport website in the UK, but it is in the gossip section. Now, I've done a bit of digging into this story, and it's exactly the same story that was being talked about 4 days ago. So all they're doing is just regurgitating the same news, trying to scare us, trying to make us worry. So if you actually click on the article on this website that they've put a quote from, it's from 4 days ago. It's on the same Spanish website that we spoke about 4 days ago. So there isn't any new news about Amrabat. There isn't any more stories saying he's going to go to Atletico Madrid. It's one story on sport.es, which is all in Spanish, saying that his preference is Atletico Madrid. And all BBC Sport have done is just regurgitate this story, put it back up on their website. And then honestly, this morning, my DMs have been absolutely flooded with people saying, I've just seen on BBC Sport that Amrabat's going to Atletico Madrid. What's going on? I'm really worried. Yeah, nothing's changed. It's exactly the same as it was 4 days ago. So everybody take a deep breath on that one. You will start seeing this on Twitter. I've just seen the same story on Twitter now. I'm looking at it right now. All of these aggravators, whatever they're called on Twitter, who just repost stories, all putting this story out there. Sofian Amrabat would rather join Atletico Madrid than Manchester United, okay? And then they say, terrible news for Ten Hag. So people are just trying to scaremonger. This is part of why this channel is here, okay? It's here for us to decipher news. It's to come together as a community and try and work out what is actually legit and what is rubbish. And this sport.es website is rubbish. It's not a very good source. And the story that all of these people are reposting is from 4 days ago. So everybody take a deep breath. Everybody chill out. I think it'll be all right. As long as Fred and Donny go, which we will talk about in a minute, I'm still 90% sure that Amrabat would join the club. But yeah, obviously I'm not John Murtaugh or Richard Arnold, so I can't say for certain, but I think this story we can just overlook. So talking of dodgy stories, all right, this is a prime example, and this completely backs up what I've just said. Now, TalkSport have just put this out this morning, and I think it's an absolute disgrace. I do. So obviously we had this injury concern about Rasmus Højlund a couple of days ago, didn't we? Which has now been played down by the club, saying that he's going to be back by the Arsenal game, saying that the injury is not what the press have been making out. So TalkSport this morning have put out a story saying Manchester United have suffered a huge blow in capital letters after realising Rasmus Højlund is way worse than they had feared. I mean, how late to the party are they? Like, I just don't understand how people get away with doing this. Like, TalkSport have literally put out this story half an hour ago. I've been spent the last half an hour trailing the internet trying to find anyone else that's reporting this story, and all they've done is just regurgitate the same story from 4 days ago about Rasmus Højlund's back injury, and they've made out that it's a huge blow, he's going to be out for ages and all the rest of it, even though we know that that's not the case. So all my point here is you've just got to be very, very careful with what you see on Twitter. And I do hope that that's what I can bring to you. I try and bring you guys news, and then I try and give you an honest opinion on the legitimacy of stuff and try and play down certain things, because we've seen Rasmus Højlund in training yesterday. He was training at Carrington yesterday. So for TalkSport to come out this morning saying that, you know, it's a huge blow and that he's going to be, the injury's way worse than they feared and all the rest of it, like, that's just a load of rubbish. It is, and we all know that. So anyway, let's keep on moving though this morning. It's just frustrating, it is, isn't it? It really is frustrating that all of this like tabloid press, let's call them in the UK, they just constantly putting out these crap stories, like constantly. It's the same with Mason Greenwood. Like, the only newspaper that are reporting about him at the moment is The Sun. And I'm telling you now, I'm 90% sure that Mason Greenwood's camp are going to be, you know, giving The Sun this information, because it's just constant. Anyway, that's my tabloid newspaper rant over. Very annoying, but it is what it is. We've got over 700 people watching already, which is absolutely massive. Big ups to all of you. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We are literally 50 subscribers away from 10k now, guys. If we can hit 10k today on this stream, I'll be absolutely buzzing. So please do subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get to 10k by the end of this video. Okay, let's move on to Maguire really, really quickly. Now, this one is maybe not the most positive news, but I've said this to you for many, many weeks, so don't be surprised when I read out this news story. So Harry Maguire to West Ham looks all set to happen. That's great. We're going to get the here we go soon, Fabrizio's reported. So that's the positive. Maguire is leaving Manchester United, and personal terms don't seem to be an issue with West Ham. So that's great. Everybody take a deep breath, take a sigh of relief. Harry Maguire will leave, but as I said a couple of days ago, this has now been confirmed this morning by a couple of journalists in the UK. They're reporting that Harry Maguire is in line to receive a £10 million payoff from Manchester United when he leaves Old Trafford this summer. So because of the difference in the wages that West Ham are offering him and what Manchester United were paying him, it's around 90 grand a week. Manchester United will have to pay Harry Maguire £10 million to leave the club in compensation for loss of wages. I'm not surprised by this. I've literally been saying this since the start of the transfer window, because I said no club's going to pay him 190 grand a week. But now that has been confirmed. So, you know, if we get 30 million for him plus add-ons, we'll actually only take away 20, because we have to give him 10 million of that, which I know is going to really, really frustrate some of you in the chat. And obviously I'm frustrated about it as well. But the only person you can blame here is Ed Woodward. He's the one who gave out these ridiculous contracts. But the main thing for me is that he is leaving. We will still be saving a load of money in wages. And we will be getting around 20 million after we've given him his 10 million. Obviously, I get it. It's upsetting, but there's not much we can do about that. One little quick bit on Harry Maguire as well. It looks Harry Maguire is apparently set to become the West Ham captain as well. So when he moves, he will become the West Ham captain. Okay, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't learned their lesson. You know, he came to Manchester United. He had quite high expectations, didn't he, at Manchester United? Ollie makes him the captain, and we saw what happened there. So I am a little bit surprised that West Ham are making him the captain, but that's up to them. He's not our problem anymore. If they want to make him the captain, then they can go and do it. But yeah, right, let's move on though. Let's talk about something different. Right, where are we? So, right, I wanted to... we will go through the 9 players who are leaving in a minute, but I wanted to talk really, really quickly about Romeo Lavia. So as you guys all know, Liverpool have been the ones leading the race for Lavia for the last month, I'd say. Now, Liverpool had a £45 million bid rejected for Romeo Lavia. Obviously, he is a Manchester United target. He has been linked to Manchester United multiple times. He's somebody I really, really like. He's somebody who I think would be great at the club, and somebody who, at 19 years of age, I do think could go on to be one of the best midfielders in the world in the next kind of 3 to 5 years. Now, anybody who's missed it, Chelsea have just put in a £48 million bid. So I think Liverpool have put in 3 bids. The highest was 45. Now Chelsea have entered the race and put in a 48. My question to you is, do you think Manchester United now try and hijack this deal? We saw it happen last year with Malacia, where Lyon agreed a fee with Malacia, didn't they, for him to move there? And then at the last minute, Manchester United steamroll in and hijack the deal. What about Manchester United going into the race with a £50 million bid? If Scott McTominay's going, Fred's going, Donny's going, we're going to need 2 midfielders. Amrabat won't be enough on his own. So do we enter the race now for Romeo Lavia? Do we go in with a £50 million bid? Let me know in the comment section whether you think we should do that. Let me know whether you think Manchester United should hijack this deal. I think we should enter the race. I do. Yeah, I think we should enter the race for Lavia. I do. I think if we could get Lavia and Amrabat for a combined fee of £75 million, 50 for Lavia, 25 for Amrabat, I think that would be absolutely unbelievable. Obviously, Moises Caicedo is way out of our price range, £100 million for him. I don't see that one. I don't see us entering the race for Caicedo, but I do think Lavia is a more realistic option. I know there is some other people that we are linked to, like Manu Kone. He is a very, very strong possibility and is somebody that I do really, really like. Although, if I'm honest, the links to Manu Kone have gone very, very quiet in the last kind of month or so. We were linked to him quite heavily at the beginning of the transfer window, but in the last couple of weeks, we haven't been linked to Manu Kone at all. 22 years of age, obviously French midfielder, plays his football in the Bundesliga. I think he'd be a great signing. I do. I would go with any of those. I think Manu Kone would be good. I think Lavia would be good, and Amrabat would be good. But I do think we need two midfielders for me personally. But yeah, let me know in the comment section who you would prefer to go with. Would you like to go for Lavia for around 50 million, or do you think it would be better to go in for someone like Manu Kone? Let me know what you think, because I always look forward to seeing you guys' opinions on these topics. Right, now we're going to talk about the players leaving, all right? Because I know a lot of you are really, really excited about this. So I'm going to rattle through this quite quickly, because I know some of these players we'll have talked about before, so I don't want to bore you, but I do think it's important to bring you a bit of context on this, and we are going to be doing a live kind of cost calculation so we can work out how much money we will be getting. So we've got an update on 9 players leaving the club. So everybody get a sip of your water, get your cup of tea, whatever it is you're doing, and I would jump into this now. So the first player is Alvaro Fernandez, who looks set to go to Burnley on loan. Great move, really, really happy for him. Next up, we've got Hannibal Mejbri. He is on the brink of signing a new contract at Manchester United, and then will move to either Luton. I think it's Luton who are leading the race for him at the moment. Hannibal Mejbri, new contract, and then he'll be put out on loan. Really, really good bit of business. I like that. Obviously, Harry Maguire, we know what's happening with him, so we don't need to talk about that. That's the third player. Donny van de Beek. Now, this is an interesting one, and I think this, I don't want to say it's going to cause upset, but I think it will cause upset. So let's just jump straight into it. Obviously, we've spoken for many, many days about what's going to happen with Donny van de Beek. It looks like it was going to be a permanent deal. Then it was going to be a loan. Then it was going to be a loan with an obligation to buy. So Fabrizio Romano has come out in the last 5 or 6 hours, okay, and he said the following on Donny van de Beek. He says, Real Sociedad and Manchester United are still negotiating for Donny van de Beek. Okay, that's good. But then he says, discussions are ongoing about the loan fee, how to cover Donny's salary, and also the option to buy clause in 2024. I understand that Donny van de Beek's keen on the move and attracted by the Real Sociedad project. So from what Fabrizio's saying here, it looks like Donny's going out on just a loan with an option to buy. Make sure you hear the word there, option to buy, not an obligation to buy. You know my stance on that. We've spoke about this one before. I think it's really, really bad if we do a loan with an option to buy. It needs to be an obligation to buy. He needs to go on a permanent deal. You know, us getting no money for him this summer, them paying a loan fee, and then us still having to pay his salary. Like that makes zero sense to me. And it is a little bit disappointing. It is, but there's not really too much we can do about it. Hopefully things change and they do come in with a permanent transfer. But at the moment, it does look like the Donny deal will just be a loan. That's what Fabrizio is reporting. So I'm not sure what to think about that one. Obviously, I'm not particularly happy. But anyway, let's move on to the next person. The next person we've got up is Eric Bailly. We've got an update for him. So it's come out last night from multiple different journalists that apparently Eric Bailly is now in concrete talks with both Besiktas and Al Nassr. We're still not sure which one he's going to go to. Last night there were stories saying it looked like it would be Besiktas, and today apparently Al Nassr have re-entered the race. So Bailly's as good as gone. If we can get any money for him, I'll be happy. But what was being reported is that it looks like it might be a free agent move. Manchester United will terminate his contract. Mutually terminate the contract, so they won't have to pay him any money, and then he'll move to one of those two clubs as a free agent. I don't really have much to say about that, but Eric Bailly is somebody who hasn't played for us for so long that I don't really even consider him a player anymore for us. So yeah, he's gone. Let's move on to the next one then. Where are we? There we are. Okay. So we've had Fernandez, Hannibal, Maguire, Donny, and Eric Bailly. And now we've got an update on Dean Henderson for you as well. Dean Henderson also is going to be a loan move to Nottingham Forest. So, I mean, out of the first 5 people, right, we've got Fernandez loan, Hannibal loan, Maguire permanent deal, Donny van de Beek loan, and Bailly free transfer. I mean, you couldn't make it up, couldn't you? So out of 5 outgoings so far, we've only raised 30 million from Maguire. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't give me abuse for this, but I'm just bringing you the facts. Okay, and then Dean Henderson, it looks like that will be a loan as well. That's what's being reported. Another loan, but this one will be with an obligation to buy. We're not sure what the obligation to buy will be. Apparently, Manchester United is still negotiating the terms of this deal with Nottingham Forest. So, what's that? 5 loans and 1 permanent deal so far out of 6. We've got 3 more people to rattle through. The next one is Mengi, who is going to he's going to the French league on loan, so that's another loan. Fred will be leaving on a permanent transfer, okay, and we will be getting some money for him. Fulham are now in concrete talks with Manchester United over a deal for Fred. We're expecting to get about £15 million for Fred, which I think is fair. £15 million, I'll take that. And then the final player of the 9 is Brandon Williams, who looks like he's going to go to Leeds. Manchester United are still waiting for an official bid from Leeds for the player, but it does look like he will be moving there, or at least will receive an offer. Whether or not it will be accepted or not, we have to wait and see. But I do think that Brandon Williams will leave the club this summer because ultimately he's surplus to requirements. He's not going to ever get any game time. I think we can get $5 million for Brandon Williams. I think that would be a fair price. So just to give you a quick recap, from 9 outgoings, okay, 6 of them are going to be loans, and only 3 look set to be permanent transfers. I mean, obviously that is not great, is it? It really, really isn't. But at least we clear a lot of wages. At least we're, making room for new people to join the squad. At least Erik ten Hag is fully able to, revamp his team and actually bring in people he wants. So from those 6 players, the only 3 that will get actual money for, it looks like, is Harry Maguire, 30 million, Fred, 15 million, and Brandon Williams, 5 million. So it's about £50 million combined. Obviously, there is still a strong possibility that Scott McTominay leaves the club. But at this point, sorry everyone. Yeah, at this point, we're still waiting for an update on Scott McTominay. I think Scott McTominay will go to West Ham, but the deal has cooled off at the moment. I do think it will happen, though. We've just got to be patient and wait and see how much West Ham are willing to increase their deal by. Let me know in the comments section, actually. Do you think 30 million for Scott McTominay is a fair price? Obviously, Manchester United rejected that price outright. We want around 45 million for Scott McTominay. Do you think that is a fair deal? Let me know in the comments section. Let me know in the live chat how much is a fair price for Scott McTominay. I do think that if we don't sell him this summer, his stock price is only going to go down. Obviously, he's not going to get any game time this season, really, is he? I don't think. I think Kobe Mainoo will be above him in the running order. So for me, I think he does need to go now. I'm just having a look how long he's got left on his contract. So he's got 2 years left on the contract with an option of an extra year. So we've still got the value in that sense. We've still got about 3 years left of him if we want him. But yeah, I definitely think we need to get him out of the club. Just not because he's a bad player, but just because for 30 million plus, I think that's a great bit of business. If we sell him for 30 and then we calculate the money from Alanga and Telles, we would have got a combined fee of we'll have raised about £100 million in sales this summer, which would be really, really good. And it does allow us to then go and buy the people in all of these different positions that we require. Because at this point, we definitely do need a striker, a centre-back if Maguire goes, and potentially 2 midfielders. So we need 4 more priority signings, which obviously is going to cost money, isn't it? People aren't free. So I think 4 signings will be about the right amount of money we need, the right amount of players we need. I'm just going to have a look in the chat, see if anybody's got any questions before we move on to the next bit of the show. So we've got somebody asking about Pellistri and Amad. So Amad Diallo is injured. Apparently he's going to be out until, I think he's going to be out for about 2 or 3 months, Amad Diallo. He picked up an injury against Arsenal in the pre-season friendly, and it looks like Amad Diallo will be out for around 2 to 3 months. So that is obviously a massive blow. Pellistri is on the brink of signing a new contract at Manchester United. He's on the brink of signing a new contract at Manchester United, Pellistri, but he might be loaned out. We're still waiting to find out what's going on with that. There was talk of him going to the Eredivisie, but I've said my piece on this. I definitely don't think they would be a good move for him. I know I'm not the manager of Manchester United, but sending him to the Eredivisie seems like a complete waste. I would definitely rather keep Pellistri at Manchester United for one more season, Try and give him some experience, give him a new contract, you know, and then if it doesn't work, maybe loan him out then. I think if Ahmad's injured, then we need more options in those positions. So it makes zero sense to loan him out. But yeah, that's 9 players who look set to leave the club. People in the chat are asking about Mohamed Kudus. You know, this is somebody that I really, really like, somebody that I really, really want at Manchester United. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one. I'm not. Maybe Manchester United try and hijack the deal. I just think at the moment, based on what we spoke about on this show, literally all of our outgoings, apart from maybe 2 or 3 players, are going to be loaned. So we're not actually going to raise that much money at this rate. I think if Scott McTominay goes, you can go and get Mohamed Kudus. But, you know, if Dean Henderson's a loan, Donny's a loan, you know, if all of these people are loans, we're not going to get any money for them, are we? So it doesn't increase our transfer budget. It doesn't help Erik ten Hag. And it doesn't really help our cause at this moment in time. You know, if there's obligations to buy and options to buy, yes, that means we get money next year, but it doesn't mean we have it to spend now, does it? So it's a little bit frustrating. Yeah, a bit frustrating. What we got? Sarandeep says, what's your realistic choice on strikers that we can sign? We were just about to talk about strikers. So obviously the Rasmus Højlund injury has definitely been blown out of proportion. I think him being back for the Arsenal game, I know it's frustrating, but he will be back in about 2 or 3 weeks, okay? I do still think we need a second striker regardless, but the thing you have to remember is Jadon Sancho is set to be played as a false 9 this season. He's going to be a false 9. Obviously, we've got Rashford as a striker as well, so we do have options there. We do have a couple of different ways that we can set up. I think at the moment, Manchester United aren't focusing on a striker. I'm not sure why. But again, I'm not the Manchester United manager, and I fully trust Erik ten Hag. If he thinks that Jadon Sancho's enough, if he thinks that Marcus Rashford can do it, then I think that would make good sense. There's a story coming out from Fabrizio Romano now, like literally in the last 5 seconds, saying Benjamin Pavard is open to leaving Bayern Munich this summer and keen on a Manchester United move. He would love to join the club and to play in the Premier League. Ten Hag will decide soon, but favourite options are between Pavard and Todibo, and the backup option is Tapsoba. So that's good to get a bit of clarity there. The 2 priority options, this is coming out from Fabrizio Romano, literally in the last 5 seconds, that Ten Hag's top 2 options are Benjamin Pavard and Todibo, and then the backup option is Tapsoba from Bayern Leverkusen. So there you go. That's a bit of clarity on the centre-back positions. Yeah. I still think we need both of them, I do, but we've already spoke about that, so I won't dwell on it for too long. Right, I'm going to have a look in the chat and read out a couple of your comments. Where are we? We've got over 1,000 people in the chat now, which is absolutely mega. Big ups to everybody watching. Please do subscribe and smash a like on the video. We're 30 subscribers away from 10k now, guys, so please do subscribe if you are new. Let's hit 10k by the end of this video. Somebody says, Pavard is a world-class player and World Cup winner. Yeah. Richie Club Sport says, Amrad widely reported by multiple outlets, including the BBC, as going to Atletico. I mean, my friend, we just spoke about this at length. Like, the BBC Sport aren't reporting that Amrabat's going to Atletico Madrid, okay? You're looking on the gossip column. Take the word gossip. You're looking on a gossip column. And on that gossip column, they post stories from other websites. It says where the stories come from, and it says it's from 4 days ago on the same story we spoke about 4 days ago. So there isn't any new story saying that Amrabat's going to Atletico Madrid. There's one Spanish newspaper who 4 days ago put up a story, and now the UK BBC Sport website have put it in their gossip column. I mean, let me trail through this gossip column for you, shall we, if we want to go on that argument. So that one says that, so they're also saying that Neymar's going to Chelsea. They're saying that, what else are they saying? I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, it's literally just, it's gossip. So I'm not worried about Amrabat. Unless you get Fabrizio coming out, David Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell, one of these, I'm not going to sit here and say that Amrabat's going to Atletico Madrid. So yeah, whoever's out, Richie, I get that you're upset about it, but yeah, I just think you need to chill out a bit, my friend. Sarandeep says, do you think by getting someone like Taremi, Kudus, Amrabat and Pavard, we could challenge for the league? That's a really, really good question. Really, really good question. I'll ask that back to the chat. How many players do you think Manchester United need to be in to challenge for the title this season? Let me see. So yeah, I think we need another striker. I think we need 2 midfielders and probably a centre back, and then I think we should be in the race. But the issue at Manchester United has always been goals. You know that. Even if we signed a world-class centre-back, a world-class midfielder, we need a world-class striker. And I'm not saying that Rasmus Højlund isn't going to become that, but he's not a world-class striker at the moment, is he? And he's injured. So, yeah, we 100% need a world-class striker. So I wouldn't even put us in the conversation of the league title unless we do get this world-class striker in. But let me know in the comment section, how many signings do you think Manchester United need in order to to win the title. There's a bit of a story coming out as well in the last couple of minutes from Samuel Luckhurst in the Manchester Evening News, saying that Manchester United still want to sign a second goalkeeper in order to offload Dean Henderson and send Matej Kovar back out on loan. So it looks like we will be going for this second goalkeeper. I have absolutely no idea who it was. We were linked to the goalkeeper from Fenerbahce a week or so ago, but that's gone very, very quiet. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that one. I don't really understand why Matej Kovar is not staying. Like, surely he's good enough to be the backup goalkeeper. Why are we sending him out on the loan and bringing in another cheap goalkeeper? I don't really understand that. But again, I fully trust Erik ten Hag. He's our manager. He's earned our respect. He's earned our trust. And if he thinks that Matej Kovar isn't good enough, if he thinks that Dean Henderson's not good enough, then we need to make sure that we back him and bring in, the backup goalkeeper that he wants. If you're looking at Arsenal as an example, they've got Ramsdale and then they've just bought David Raya, haven't they, as well? Like, that is mad. They've got two good goalkeepers. I'm not going to call them world class because I don't think either of them are world class goalkeepers personally, but they've now got two goalkeepers both competing for that same position. And I think at Manchester United it needs to be the same. And that's why I was a little bit like maybe we should have kept De Gea for one season, because anyway, let's not talk about De Gea. That's been and gone. But we definitely need two good goalkeepers at Manchester United, I think. I do like Tom Heaton, but I'm not convinced whether he's good enough to be, starting every match for Manchester United. Imagine if Onana gets injured in the first game against Wolves on Monday, and then we're going to have to play Tom Heaton for the whole season. Like, I would be concerned if that happens. I just wanted to bring up something really, really quickly as well, actually. So there's some breaking news coming out in the last couple of minutes that apparently Manchester United are not settling for Johnny Evans as Harry Maguire's replacement. So it looks like Johnny Evans won't be staying at Manchester United. This is coming out from the Manchester Evening News via Samuel Luckhurst. I know some of you are going to be really happy about this. Some of you are going to be disappointed. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about that. I'm not going to cry that Johnny Evans isn't staying, but for as a free agent, maybe it would have been worth it. Obviously, if you bring in Todibo, if you bring in Benjamin Pavard, then you probably don't need him, do you? It goes on to say that apparently there are other clubs in the Premier League who want to sign him. Obviously, he's a free agent. It will cost them no money. But yeah, apparently he's not being considered as, the replacement for Harry Maguire. We will go and get a replacement for Harry Maguire. And Johnny Evans won't be the replacement. So, okay. His contract as well. I had some people asking me about this yesterday. Johnny Evans' contract expires at the end of August. So we've got about 2 weeks or 3 weeks left of Johnny Evans. And then either he'll stay or he'll be moved on. But I would say at this point, it looks more likely that he's going to be moved on, I think. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Right, I'm going to read out some of your questions now. Red Devils United says, any updates on Malacia? What's the extent of his injury? He's just disappeared. I'm going to be very, very honest with you here. I've heard absolutely nothing about Malacia. Nothing. Not a single word. So I don't know whether that's good or bad. I would probably say that's bad because there is literally no stories about Malacia's injury anywhere. Obviously, he didn't go on the preseason tour. And I have this funny feeling, right? That's maybe why we're looking at Benjamin Pavard. Maybe Malacia is going to be out for a while, right? And maybe Erik ten Hag's going to have Diogo Dalot as the backup left back, because obviously Dalot can play left back as well. And then he brings in Pavard. So you have Pavard and Wan-Bissaka as the two right backs. And then Luke Shaw and Dalot as the two left backs. Does that make sense? Because obviously Alvaro Fernandez is going out on loan, Brandon Williams is going to be sold, and Malacia is injured. So at the moment we are short in that left back position. So maybe that's what he's thinking. That's why I'm quite up for this Pavard one. Just to say, like, I just think it does give us versatility and options. And if Malacia's injury is worse than everybody thinks, then I mean, there's literally not a single story. I'm having a look now. There's not one story about his injury anywhere. Nothing. Like, that is really worrying, isn't it? I don't know. I always feel bad when I can't answer your questions, but I'm not gonna. I'm just having a look. So apparently Ten Hag will be doing his press conference tomorrow on Friday. So obviously we should find out tomorrow what's going on with Malacia, get an update on Kobbie Mainoo's injury, find out if Anthony Martial's match fit and all the rest of it. So yeah, we'll have to wait until tomorrow. We will do, what do you call it? Like a press conference reaction tomorrow. So I can't remember what time the press conference is, but tomorrow we will be doing a video on the press conference. So tomorrow, hopefully we'll get that answer. Let's have a read of a couple of questions. Somebody says, I insist we get Kudus and Amrabat. Yeah, I'd be really, really happy about that. Red says, Erik ten Hag is going to play a 3-4-3 formation in some games. Yeah, I did see that. Somebody saying we should go from Thuram from Nice. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Sarandeep says, do you think we should go for Arnautovic as he was pursued by Erik ten Hag in the past? I mean, that sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard. I'm sorry. Like, Arnautovic. I do not want Arnautovic at Manchester United. Not in a million years. On that one, I don't really... Like, obviously we back our manager, but like, Arnautovic, really? He's definitely not good enough to play for Manchester United, is he? So yeah, it's a no from me. Definitely no Arnautovic. Matt says, we have Kobbie Mainoo. I don't want Lavia. Fair enough. Obviously completely fine. Somebody says, don't we need Johnny Evans for the homegrown quota? I think we've got plenty of homegrown players if you actually look through our squad. And obviously if Mason Greenwood comes back, that's another one. You know, we've got Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Greenwood, Rashford. I think Dalot counts as homegrown. Who else we got? I think you need 5 or 6 in your squad, don't you? And we've got obviously all of our youth players as well who are on the bench. So I don't think the homegrown quota is an issue. Red Devils United says, isn't it risky to keep Amrabat waiting for so long? Yeah, I do think so, yeah. But I don't know. It depends how much he wants to move to Manchester United. If he really, really wants to move, you know, if Erik ten Hag's assured him that the deal is going to go through in a month or whatever, you know, Donny's going to leave in 2 weeks, whatever it might be. If he's had reassurances, then I don't see why he wouldn't wait. Yeah. Somebody's saying, will Højlund play on Monday? No, Højlund will not play on Monday. He's injured, my friend. He's out until the Arsenal game, which is in about a month's time. Yeah. There's a bit of clarity as well from Edmund Tapsoba, the Bayern Leverkusen centre-half. So apparently he'll only come to Manchester United if he can be a starting centre-back. I mean, so that he's completely out of it then. There's no way on earth he's going to start over Varane or Martinez. So I would say he's out of the race. It is pretty much just a straight 50-50 between Pavard and JEAN-CLAIR Todibo, I think now. I just hope that today we get loads and loads of stories about all these outgoings. All of these 9 people we've spoke about today is leaving. I just really, really hope that today is the day where a lot of them start to go. I hope we get the Harry Maguire here we go today. And I hope that things just start moving in that direction, because that will then start the domino effect where, you know, Amrabat will come, a centre-back will come, etc., etc. We're just waiting to sell players. Someone says, do you think we are still right now in market after signing Just Go Quiet? I'm not sure what you mean. Somebody says, what is Rashford's best position? That's a great question, and that is one I will echo back to the community. So I want you to let me know in the comments section, where do you think Rashford's best position is? It does look like he will be playing as a striker for some games this season. That was what was being reported by The Athletic, Manchester Evening News, lots of other journalists about a week or so ago, that apparently Rashford will be used in the striker position. I'm not sure. Like, obviously he's played more on the left, so he's scored more goals on the left. But I do think that he could play in the striker position. Like, I don't see why not. He's obviously great at finishing. He's fast. If he improves his kind of hold up play and all the rest of it, I think he would be a good striker. So yeah, I'm not one of those people who's like, Marcus Rashford is world class on the left and he's rubbish as a striker. I'm not really as dramatic as that. I still think he's good in the striker position. I would say he's slightly better on the left, but I wouldn't say it's a massive difference. And the thing you always have to remember with the Manchester United strikers and front forward players, they seem to rotate quite a lot in the middle of matches. So, for example, like Sancho and Rashford would swap wings quite often, you know, like 20 minutes into a game, you'd see Sancho go to the right, to the left, and Rashford. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I quite like the idea of our front three being quite versatile and switching around, but that's just me. Maybe I'm being dumb. Okay, this is an interesting quote, an interesting take. Sarandeep says, "Do you think Pavard pushes Varane out of the team?" I think he does. I don't think so, because the thing you have to remember is that Benjamin Pavard plays mostly as a right back, so I don't really see how he would push him out of the team. If anything, I would see him pushing out Wan-Bissaka, because think about it, Varane and Pavard already have a relationship together. They won the World Cup together. They're both French internationals. Obviously, Varane's retired now, but they did play together in the French national team. So for me, I think Benjamin Pavard goes straight in at right back. And then Dalot goes over to left back in place of Malacia, who's apparently injured. So then your right backs are Wan-Bissaka, Pavard, and then you keep your two centre defenders and you have Luke Shaw at left back. That's what I would do anyway. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one in the comment section. Right, we're literally 32 subscribers away from 10k now, guys. So everybody please go and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to read out a couple more questions and then I will be wrapping up the video. Sarandeep says, "Do you think we should go for Florian Wirtz? He's a pure talent." I've probably pronounced his name terrible there, so if there's anybody German in the chat, I do apologise. 20 years of age, yeah. The thing is, though, like, all of these players sound great, and they're people who I'm sure will go on to be really, really special players, but they're going to cost you like 80 to 100 million, aren't they? Somebody like that. So maybe, but at this moment in time, I don't think so. Somebody's asking if I play Fantasy Premier League. I haven't actually set it up yet. I'm going to do it today, and I'm going to make a league, a Daily Red Devil league, and there'll be some sort of prize as well. So look out for that. I will mention it on the show later on today, but I haven't made my account yet. To be honest, with the Fantasy Premier League, I always do it every year, and then I just forget one week to do it, and then I just lose, and then I'm so far behind everyone else that I just kind of give up. So, yeah. Right, I think we've gone through all of our points today, so I'm not gonna ramble on for any longer, because I'm sure you guys have got other stuff you want to go and get doing. We've got one more question, and let's read this quickly. And Red Devils United says, "Kieran, do you think signing Pavard and Amrabat makes us dark horses for the title?" I'll say this now: if we sign Benjamin Pavard, Amrabat, and a striker, I would say that we should be in to win the title. Yeah, if we sign those three positions, I would put us in the title race. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't think Benjamin Pavard and Amrabat will be enough to win the title, because at the moment we don't have a striker. You know, at the moment we have an injured Højlund and an injury-prone Martial. We need another striker, definitely. Striker, Amrabat, and Benjamin Pavard, and I reckon we're in the title race. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but I reckon we should at least be up there. At Christmas, we should be at least in the race, you know? We shouldn't be 10 points behind Manchester City at Christmas. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up there, though, guys. It's been an absolutely incredible stream today. Big ups to everybody who has joined us. Thank you so much. I will be back live at 6 p.m. today for another interactive show. There will be a couple of videos coming out throughout the day. We'll be doing one on Benjamin Pavard, where we do a deep dive into the player, so make sure you look out for that one. This has been Daily Red Devil. I've been Kieran. Please do smash a like on the video on your way out. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Lots of love and peace out.